Whether you just need a refresher or you're trying to prepare yourself for the second season, here's everything you need to remember about The Promised Neverland Season 1. Welcome back to the Anime Tea, everyone. My name is Phoenix, and today we're going to be recapping Season 1 of The Promised Neverland and every key piece of information you need to know for Season 2, which airs January 7th, 2021. Let's get started. Quick disclaimer, there's going to be major spoilers for all of Season 1 of The Promised Neverland. However, we are only going to be recapping the anime events, and we won't be talking about any of the manga in today's video. First things first, we start off at Gracefield Orphanage, where we meet 38 children, orphans who live together under the same roof with one caretaker, which they call Mama. Emma, Norman, and Ray are the main characters of the series, and they are the oldest children there, and they are also the smartest children there at 11 years old. Every few months, a child is adopted from Gracefield Orphanage, and the very first one that we get to see adopted is Connie, the adorable little pigtailed girl who loves her bunny plushie. All the other kids are really sad, but they are hopeful that she'll have a good life. However, Emma and Norman notice that Connie left her favorite bunny plushie behind. Emma is determined to go return it to her, so Emma and Norman go out to the gate to go give Connie her plushie back. And when they get there, they find Connie is dead in a vase, and there are demons walking around and talking to their mama. Now, I don't know about you, but I would have shit my pants right there. Emma and Norman hide under the wagon that the demons put Connie's body in. They somehow are able to escape that whole situation, and Emma is screaming her head off because one of her family members is dead. There's demons, and Mama knows about all of this. The entire world that they've lived in is a complete lie. So Norman determines that they need to escape from Gracefield Orphanage. So the next day, they go and they look in the forest surrounding the orphanage to try to find a way out, and they end up coming upon a giant wall. Walls tend to be big themes in a lot of these anime. There's a giant wall, they can't get out. Emma and Norman also realize that Mama has a tracker on every single one of the kids. When one day one of the kids gets lost, and all Mama has to do is look at her watch in order to find them. They decide to get Ray involved, since he is also one of the older kids, a prodigy, and one of their best friends. But through their planning, Ray brings up that all the kids probably won't be able to make it out and be able to successfully escape, and that they're gonna have to leave most of the kids behind and probably just escape themselves. But Emma is firmly against this. She wants to save every single one of the kids, and she does not want to leave anyone behind. And just as their plans are going fairly well, they don't believe that they're being suspected by Mama. They've kept up the charade that everything is perfectly normal. A new person arrives. Sister Crone comes into the picture, and she plays tag with them. And she's able to catch every single one of the kids in only a few minutes. And this makes the trio realize that escaping with all the kids is going to be really difficult. The only people who are able to elude Sister Crone are Emma, Norman, and Ray, but barely. Sister Crone plays a major threat, and the kids need to determine what they can do next to attempt to escape. So they decide to get more of the older kids involved. Reach out to are Dawn and Gilda. However, when they do so, they realize that there is a traitor amongst them who is relaying information to Mama. And since they've just added Dawn and Gilda to the group, they are suspected of being a traitor, which is why Norman decides not to tell them the whole truth about the children being eaten by demons. So they set off an entire plot to try to reveal either Dawn or Gilda as the traitor. However, Norman determines through his actions that Ray is actually the real traitor. Ray straight up says that, yeah, he has been doing it, and he's very calm about it. And he's not at all surprised that Norman figured out that it was him. Ray explains that he's been working with Mama because he wants to gain her trust, and he proposes that he works for both sides as a traitor that gives Mama false information and also determines what her next move may be. The kids have also noticed that Mama has a secret room that she goes to do something suspicious, which piques all the kids' interest, but mostly Dawn and Gilda's, who end up going into the room to try to find out what it is, mostly because they feel left out between Emma, Norman, and Ray, and they feel like they're not telling them everything, so they are trying to find the truth themselves, which puts them in a very dangerous predicament. Dawn and Gilda luckily escape with their lives, but they do discover that the children's left behind belongings, such as clothes and teddy bears and other items. Dawn and Gilda go and confront Emma, Norman, and Ray and ask them what they've been hiding from them. And Norman tells them everything, and they are shook, to say the least. Like, I would be too if someone told me that Demons are eating the children who leave the place, and no children has ever left Gracefield Orphanage alive. Meanwhile, the trio, with the help of little Phil is such a smart little kid. It's crazy. He's only 4 years old. It's so ridiculous. Genius genes, I guess, in this non-related family are ridiculous. Anyway, Phil and Emma discover that there are hidden codes within the books in the library. The name William Minerva keeps popping up in a lot of the books in the library, as well as a stamp of an owl, and various words in Morse code. They may reveal a secret message. Makes the kids realize and hope for the possibility of other humans being outside of the orphanage and beyond the walls. All this information culminates as the week before their planned escape is to come, which is supposed to be right before Ray is supposed to be shipped out. But they get an unexpected ally when Sister Kone offers to help them escape. But of course, Sister has her own plans, and she's only willing to help the kids escape so that she can become a mama herself and rat out Isabella and hopefully get her fired and take her position. The kids also learned that Sister Kone has a number on her neck, and it is revealed that sisters and mamas were originally children at the orphanages as well, who were given a choice at 12 years old to either go down the path of becoming a sister or a mama, or to be eaten by demons. So of course, what do most of them pick? And Kone is able to get more useful information for the children than any of the other children could get from Mama. But things get a little crazy from here. But before we go into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Anime Tea. I put new videos out every Wednesday and Saturday. Make sure to turn on that bell for notifications so you never miss a new video. And let's move on. Sister gets a dismissal note from Gracefield Orphanage to leave with a recommendation from Mama for her herself to become a mama. However, Sister Kone holds a grudge against Isabella because she is so perfect and does everything way too well. So she goes to grandmother, which is like the head person who runs the orphanages, and rats out Isabella and tells them that the children under Isabella's care are planning to escape. However, grandmother isn't surprised by this. She's really indifferent about it, and she says that if the kids haven't escaped yet, then Isabella's still doing her job right, and she doesn't care what Kone has to say. And unfortunately, Kone gets killed by a demon. I mean, as she's dying off, we get to see her backstory of how she was a child who decided to attempt to become a mother through the system and her entire life, and she hopes that the kids are actually able to escape, like the gruesome cycle of life that is within these orphanages, which was really sad. I feel bad for Sister Kone, like, ooh. But as they were making their way to the wall to do the inspection over the wall to see how they can escape, Mama finds them. And at this point, all the charades that had been kept going throughout this entire time, it all ends at this moment because Mama confronts them about trying to escape. And she attempts to convince them to try to continue to live their lives as happily as they can until their shipment dates. And the kids firmly reject this, obviously. Emma runs to distract Mama while Norman goes to get the rope to go look over the wall. However, when Mama grabs hold of Emma, she breaks her leg, which prevents any possible chance of Emma escaping. And Isabella says that Norman's shipment date has been moved up before Ray's. Mama basically said, checkmate. With Emma's leg now broken and Norman's shipment date moved up, things are looking really, really crappy for these kids. Their situation is way worse than what it started. All their hope and all their morale has been crushed by the weight of her ability to stop them at every turn. So the three decide that Norman should escape the day before his shipment date, even though Norman has come to terms with the fact that he is going to die, and he is okay with that as long as Ray, Emma, and the other kids at the orphanage are able to escape. And he goes out to the wall, climbs the wall, and what they hope was that he would escape, but in actuality, he comes back. He tells Emma and Ray that beyond the wall is a giant sheer cliff that is almost impossible to pass over to get to the other side where the forest is, leaving their chances of escape to nearly zero, as if it wasn't bad enough already. On the day that Norman is to be shipped out, everyone is distraught, but no one more than Emma, Ray, and the other older kids who know exactly what's going to happen to him. And Mama takes Norman out to the gate to where he's probably going to die, or so we think. She takes him to a secret door, and him looking into that door is the last we see of him, leaving many, many, many questions after that scene. A few months pass by and Ray's shipment date is the next one to come. Over that time, it seems like everyone has given up hope, that they've accepted their fate, that there's nothing that they can do. But the night before Ray's shipment date, Emma goes to see Ray in the chapel of the orphanage and brings up the fact that she has not given up one bit since Norman's shipment date, and she has been working even harder to attempt to escape. She's gotten all the other older kids involved, and they've continued to plan out their escape. Ray explains to Emma that he has also not given up, and he has his own plan to help get everyone to escape as well. And Ray's plan is to end his own life and use it as a distraction to help the other kids escape. He's gonna set himself on fire and the entire building. A brilliant plan, but at the expense of his life. As Ray is pouring gasoline all over himself with the match already lit, which is the most intense part, I held my breath that entire scene. Luckily, Emma slaps some sense into him. She says, heck no, we're going to all get out of here. I promise Norman, we're all gonna get out of here together, and we are. But Norman is also able to tell them another key piece of information, that there's a bunch of orphanages all around them, and they form a hexagon shape, so they're all connected. In the middle of this hexagon shape is a bridge that crosses over to the other side, which could be a way to escape. So she devises a whole other plan. The other kids wrap up some meat and some hair and put it in the place of Ray's body in the fire, and put his tracking device in the fire as well. When the fire is set, Emma screams and Mama rushes down to see what's happening. She sees everything on fire. She sees that Ray is in the fire, and Emma's there trying to help save Ray, but she moves Emma out of the way and she tells her to go and try to escape. When Isabella is unable to put out the flames, she goes to find Emma and finds Emma's severed ear in the bathroom and realizes that she's got. Like, she knows that the kids have escaped. Isabella's outside of the house that's burning down, laughing maniacally, like cursing the kids for like escaping and getting all the kids out, until a little tiny hand grabs at her dress, and we see that Phil is still there, as well as a lot of the other younger kids. And when Emma and Ray meet up with the other kids, Emma tells Ray that she decided that he was right, that they can't take all of the kids and escape. So they decided to leave the youngest kids there. The oldest age that the kids can be eaten is 6 years old. So they decided to leave all the kids 4 and under there, so that they have at least 2 years to come back and get them. Emma leaves all of this information with Phil, the 4-year-old prodigy, who is responsible basically for helping keep all the other kids his age and younger safe until they return. The kids are on top of the wall. They realize that the kids are probably gonna go escape over the bridge, which is the only way out. However, though, they've been, over the past few months, practicing how to create zip lines, and the kids zip line across to the other side of the cliff. So all the kids rush across, but Emma is the last one. She stays there as Mama climbs up the freaking wall and confronts Emma face to face as she's about to zip line across the cliff. We get to see her backstory of how she was a kid. She had a person that she really cared about that was similar to how Emma cared about Norman. This friend that she had was shipped away and she was devastated by it. How she found out that they were being eaten by demons and that she herself tried to escape over the wall but wasn't able to. Grandmother gave her a choice to either get eaten by demons at the age of 12 or go on to live and become a sister and eventually a mother. And of course, Isabella chose the later. We also get to realize from that backstory that Ray is Isabella's son. Ray has a specific condition. He remembers everything from when he was in the womb, and that's how he was able to find out that Isabella was his mom. Mama's standing there at the edge of the cliff with Emma, and she lets her go. Emma escapes. They cut the line. Isabella stands there with her hair like flowing out. She finally lets it down and like feels happy that the children that she raised were actually able to escape this life, this terrible life of growing up only to be eaten by demons, something that she could never do. Anyway, the final shot that we see is of the kids out in the forest with the sun rising as they're escaping, and it is the most freeing and beautiful shot of the series, just seeing these kids go through all that work to try to get out and escape, and all the things and the setbacks they had been through, the loss of Norman, the loss of all the other kids that they had to leave behind, Connie and the others, like all coming to this point where they finally escape. And now we have so many questions for season 2 that we hope will get answered. Let me know your hopes and thoughts for season 2 what you're excited to learn, what you're excited to see, what characters you're excited to see return. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!